edition of the Practical Patriot. I am sitting in my living room holding my phone in my hand this time, so this is just a last minute thing. I was doing some reading and I just thought this was so appropriate to read tonight. It is a speech by Abraham Lincoln. I'm not going to read the whole thing because a lot of it has to do with slavery, and that's not what we're dealing with right now. But we don't want to be slaves. This was given February 27th, 1860. Okay. Actually, let's see. No, I can't hold it there. So here we go. Under all these circumstances, do you really feel yourselves justified to break up this government, unless such a court decision as yours is shall be at once submitted to as a conclusive and final rule of political action? But you will not abide the election of a Republican president. And in that supposed event, you say you will destroy the Union. And then you say the great crime of having destroyed it will be upon us. That is cool. A highwayman holds a pistol to my ear and mutters through his teeth, "Stand and deliver, or I shall kill you, and then you will be the murderer." To be sure, what the robber demanded of me, my money, was my own, and I had a clear right to keep it, but it was no more my own than my vote is my own. And the threat of death to me to extort my money, and the threat of destruction to the Union to extort my vote, can scarcely be distinguished in principle. A few words now to Republicans. It is exceedingly desirable that all parts of this great confederacy shall be at peace and in harmony with one another. Let us Republicans do our part to have it so. Even though much provoked, let us do nothing through passion and ill temper. Even though the Southern people will not do so much as listen to us, let us calmly consider their demands and yield to them if, in our deliberate view of our duty, we possibly can. Judging by all they say and do, and by the subject and nature of their controversy with us, let us determine, if we can, what will satisfy them. This is such a great speech. Will they be satisfied if the territories be unconditionally surrendered to them? We know they will not. In all their present complaints against us, the territories are scarcely mentioned. Invasions and insurrections are all the rage now. Will it satisfy them if in the future we have nothing to do with invasions and insurrections? We know it will not. We so know because we know we have never had anything to do with invasions and insurrections, and yet this total abstaining does not exempt us from the charge and the denunciation. The question recurs, what will satisfy them? Simply this: we must not only let them alone, but we must somehow convince them that we do let them alone. This, we know by experience, is no easy task. We have been so trying to convince them from the very beginning of our organization, but with no success. In all our platforms and speeches, we have constantly protested our purpose to let them alone, but this has had no tendency to convince them. Alike unavailing to convince them is the fact that they have never detected a man of us in any attempt to disturb them. These natural and apparently adequate means all failing, what will convince them? This and this only. Cease to call slavery wrong and join them in calling it right. And this must be done thoroughly, done in acts as well as words. Silence will not be tolerated. We must place ourselves avowedly with them. Senator Douglas's new sedition law must be enacted and enforced, suppressing all declarations that slavery is wrong, whether made in politics and in presses, in pulpits, or in private. We must arrest and return their fugitive slaves with greedy pleasure. We must pull down our free state constitutions. The whole atmosphere must be disinfected from all taint of opposition to slavery before they will cease to believe that all their troubles proceeded from us. I am quite aware that they do not state their case precisely in this way. Most of them would probably say to us, "Let us alone and do nothing to us and say what you please about slavery." But we do let them alone. We have never disturbed them, so that, after all, it is what we say which dissatisfies them. They will continue to accuse us of doing until we cease saying. Isn't that fascinating? Times have changed, but the situations are pretty much the same, just with different words. Instead of slavery, they want us to disavow the Constitution and say that it is wrong and say that we need to upend everything, the Constitution and capitalism. What do we do? What do we do to fix the situation? We educate. We stand strong. We are firm in our convictions, and we teach the Constitution. And we teach history, proper history. I mean, listen to that. That's pretty much so similar to what we're going through right now, from left and right, from north and south. God forbid it gets violent, but I don't think it will. We just need to be strong, and we need to be peaceful, and we need to be sentinels for freedom and justice and liberty. Have a great night.
Thanks for watching The Practical Patriot. Like and subscribe below.
That's right.